Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. It has been a bit of a week. So a couple nights ago, I'm going to put it in the top right for those of you that missed it. I did post the first part to my coloring tips and tricks series on alcohol markers. It's just covering the basics of like what types of markers are out there, price ranges, things like that. The 5 things I look for like in a good marker set. So definitely go check that out. I've been trying to get back in the swing of work this week, just where I've been sick. And I also apparently had, I guess, a sciatica, is that how you say it, flare up, where I've been in a lot of pain since Saturday. I had to go get a pain shot and a steroid shot Monday because it was causing a lot of pain, and usually I don't have issues with that nerve, but where I've been having to do a lot more different laying and sitting, just being sick the last few weeks, is probably what aggravated that. My body has just decided it is done. It is waving the white flag and surrender, I fear. And so I've been dealing with that, and also been recording for next week's tips and tricks video, which is going to be a long one because we're looking at different sets of markers and we're looking at some demos of how I color with markers. So be prepared. That's going to be a nice juicy long one for all of you. But in the meantime, I have plenty of flip throughs to do. I really want to do a watercolor picture this weekend, like a color and chat. Hopefully if we can squeeze that in, we'll see. But I've got a lot of book flip throughs to do, so let's get started. We've got a couple new releases in here. Actually, let's do those first. There we go. I'll update the screenshot. So we'll do these first. Colorit just put out this book, and actually I was kind of waiting on them to put this one out. That was the whole reason I was looking at Colorit on Amazon, but it wasn't available yet. But I finally found it. I think that Dragons Volume 2 book I sent y'all, I flipped through the other day. Since I'm not 100% happy with it, I think I might send that one back, and like, you know, this will be my third one from that series. This is Eerie Enchanted, Fairy Tale Origins. And this, like I said, is what was getting me looking at the Colorit books. So this is illustrated by Hasbi Mubarak. This gives you all the little, so these are all fairy tales, just interpreted through this artist. And they've got a little bit of the eerie to them. Looks like there is a Colorit book club. I don't know if I'm not part of this, so I might have to look into it. But this is like a fun little info sheet, like for different colors. And like this is, so all Colorit pages are perforated, so you can remove this. This is what they're counting as your blotter page. Technically you have 2 if you don't need like the table of contents here. So as you can see, if you're not familiar with Colorit books, they are, she corrected me the other day, whatever it's called. They're bound at the top with spiral bound. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Instead of ring bound, they're spiral bound. Here's the book belongs to page, and then we get started. Make sure the coloring looks okay. As I record through the day, the sun, the way it hits my house, really alters my lighting. So I have to. These are different fairy tales. I'm sure some of them will look familiar, some of them will not. But you do have the table of contents if you need it. This is smooth, as I've been doing. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. As we've been doing a lot of talk about paper quality lately with markers, this is a very smooth cardstock paper. These are a little bit more expensive coloring books than like your typical Amazon printed books, but the a lot of it's due to the paper quality. Oh, that is just stinking adorable. I love that. I love that picture. So you get some of these, a little bit of the creepy, not creepy, eerie, I guess is the way to put it. There's a crab and a monkey fighting with peaches, I think. Well, I gotta see what that one is. That sounds like something I made up. The crab and the monkey. Well, there you go. That's the actual name of it, I guess. Yeah, I'll probably keep that table of contents page. I wish there was another place these were listed, but a lot of these I'm not going to be very familiar with. Anyway, so the paper quality in these books is really good. It's good for markers and pencil, of course, but it is very smooth paper. And so depending on what works best with you in terms of pencils and smooth paper, just something to keep in mind. Now I've got a cat throwing up. That's great. It was Leroy. Leroy's upset. It has been... that looks fun. It's been extremely hot here the last few days, and so we've been letting them out on the porch in the early morning, then running them in because it's just simply too hot. They don't need to be out there, and we need to cool the house down so we don't have a $1,000 electric bill. And Leroy is very stressed and upset by it. He knows he has to come in at night, and he's sort of accepted that in life, but any other time that door is shut and he does not have access, he gets very upset. Unless it's raining. If it's raining or it's thunderstorms, he doesn't want anything to do with it. But he likes the option. The door has to be open. These are so cute. The door has to be open for that option. Oh boy. This might be my favorite color book, to be quite honest, y'all. I really like these pictures. What is happening there? I want to keep flipping back and forth the table of contents, but I know it's really distracting, so we're just going to take these as is. Anyway, he has been quite upset, and I think that just culminated in him. You know, they say cats don't hold grudges. I very much disagree with that statement, and I think he is just being dramatic. So, he will be alright. I told him, let me record this video, and then I will open the door, and I guess, you know, cats can't tell time. Okay. So, I'll have to go take care of that. I'm sure y'all really need to know he was thrown up, but I was mostly just trying to make sure it wasn't Vera. We finally seem to have gotten him in a good place, and I don't want that to change. But like I said, that was just dramatics. He's stressed and upset. That's the thing, the slightest thing changes the bit of routine, and he is just so dramatic about it. It's really crazy. You would think this cat has faced just awful treatment since day one of his life, and like, he is the most dramatic, spoiled cat in this house. But yet you would never think it looking at him. You would think just the world's against him. I wish this one wasn't cut off. I wish like you could see more of the butterfly right there. Alright. I I think I know which one this is, but I just... And these also come with 50 pages instead of usually 25 or 30 for most other coloring books. So that's another reason why they are priced as they are. I really like this one. Yeah, this might be my favorite colored book for sure. Ooh, that one's nice and creepy. Anyway, it's been a week. I feel pretty exhausted, and it's just ending Wednesday. I wanted to have this up earlier today. um, and it just didn't happen. So we will make the best of it as we can. There will probably be another flip through set tomorrow night and another flip through set Friday night. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have questions. That dog got whopped with the ugly stick. Sorry, there's a little bit of shadow happening now. Okie dokie. It's really fun looking at some of these with absolutely no context whatsoever. Yeah, like that one. Yeah, I guess why would they need clothes, right? I mean, though it would be funny if they had little shoes, but like no clothes. Anyway, that's Eerie Enchanted. I really like that one. Like I said, that may be my favorite colorit book. So yeah, I've decided I am going to send, I think, that one, and then that new mythographic book I picked up. I'm just, no, I'm regifting that one to somebody. So the dragons one I'm probably going to send back, and there's one other book I'm thinking about sending back. And I'm finally starting to get to the point where I need to be a little bit more discerning about my books. Yeah, so she says, and then she tells you she has all these flip-throughs. Whimsical Halloween 3 Sweet and Spooky by Molly Harrison. There are 50 pages in this. Each one comes with a black background and then a standard background. It's the Amazon printed book. I keep collecting the Molly Harrison books, and then I keep forgetting I have them, and I gotta start fixing that. I love this picture with her with the wee little kitty cat. I like the dark backgrounds, but I'll have to try these. Like, these feel a little bit darker than what I'm used to. Like, I'm used to more of a grayscale instead of this real dark kind of grayscale. And so I think I'm going to have to test this out to see if I prefer that or just the line art. I've not really tried this with marker or pencil or anything, so I don't have a lot of thoughts on this just yet, if you were curious. Of course, any of them with a kitty are perfectly acceptable. Perfectly. Wait, do they all have cats? Did I miss this? Ooh, I love how she's faded. Like you can see the art through that. That is awesome. Okay, maybe they're not all kitties, but it looks like there's little animals. Oh, they're so cute. This has been like, the one thing I'll say is, even though part of the month I really struggle with being able to color just due to the infection I had in my arm and stuff. I hate that word. It just sounds just exactly how it should sound. Just gross. Like, you know, I couldn't color much the first part of the month, but then when I finally got to feeling somewhat good enough to color, like, I've really been able to, it's been a good coloring month. I just need more time. Like, I've got all these ideas going for videos and pages I want to color and things I want to do, and I just don't have the time. And now life is catching up with me being able, these are so cute. Life is catching up with me trying to juggle this too, and it's so tough. As much as I hate it when I'm in a coloring funk, I get so frustrated when I'm not, and I just don't have time to do all the things I want to do. Because by the time I get around, then I've a lot of times lost my motivation to do them. I think I mentioned this. I love how the cat's also wrapped up in the mummy bandages. I think I've mentioned this, but the reason I didn't go with watercolor as my first tips and tricks series was it would have matched up with watercolor summer. I just noticed I saw a lot of videos recently where people were trying markers, alcohol markers for the first time, and I kind of felt like that was more time appropriate. But because I'm not making the alcohol alcohol series, that's a different set of videos right there. I could do that too. Um, the Because I'm not making the series like 10 episodes long, I'm going to be covering watercolors in September, though it may bleed into October. I'm guessing the marker series will be 3 or 4, probably just 3 long, but they're just going to be really long videos. I know some of y'all don't like that, but if I'm going to do these types of videos, so cute, and a little cloak too. If I'm going to do these types of videos, I've got to do them in bulk, and I got to do them as efficiently as possible. And I like doing them that way too, so that people, like, you may not be interested in the basics of markers, like you may know what chisel and brush tips and all the different types of markers, but maybe you want to know what I look for in a good marker. Huh, that's weird. Is that the same one? It's just lightened a little bit. That's odd. Normally that would just be regular line art. I don't know if that was just a misprint. I don't mind. Just thought that was odd. These are really cute though. And I'm trying. So, yeah, but some people might not need the basics, but they might want to know what I look for in a good marker. So maybe with the jump links, they can just go to the sections they need. And the same for the other videos. I just figure I put the jump links there. I'm not going to make y'all sit through 40 minutes of video to figure out when I'm going to talk about a certain topic. We ain't got time. Nobody's got time for that. So I figured this was the most efficient way to do it. That way you guys can watch what you want to watch in the videos using the jump links, and then that way we're not spreading this out over 10 weeks too. So, but that has been an endeavor, but I also think the shorter amount of videos I have, the more likely I'm going to finish this series. So, I have a couple cat books I was enabled. Tammy from Tammy Colors 2 showed this one. And she sent it to me with my, and I knew when I saw the flip through. This is Bold and Easy Cozy Cats Coloring Book for Adults by Pepper Lomax. It says it's for seniors, but, you know, I think coloring's for everybody. But the cool thing is these are nice, big images, easy, not a lot of small, tiny details. But they are so cute. So cute. And the cool thing is you can add in your own, like I could add in some detail in the wallpaper if I wanted to. Just color it straight up as is. But they're just adorable. She has one other easy coloring type book like this. It's like a variety of objects. It's not just cats, but of course I just went with the cats one for now. That one's very cute. sleeping in the cup. A lot of these I could see coloring them just like I would any other cat. Some of these I could, purple cats, blue cats. I love this one with the flower on his head looking smug. I'm a big fan just because for one of the reasons, because I do love markers so much, alcohol markers. I love the big bold line art. The thinner line art, it can be, especially in Amazon books, can be difficult because of the likelihood of bleed through on the lines, and small little details are harder to do with alcohol markers. So I get drawn. Plus, I just like the look of them. I love the look of any finished picture, even the ones with the real thin line art. But like for me, when I color them, I seem to prefer like the bolder pictures. Not necessarily though, like if I'm using a lot of pencil, I tend to go more towards a variety, but sorry, I am just chatty tonight. Yeah, the fact that I had to have yet more steroids put in my body has really wonked my sleep has not been right since the end of September, end of July. Since I started getting sick, it's just been all kinds of wonky, and that was the one thing that was actually going really well, was my sleep quality. It was probably the only thing keeping me going. And then all this started, and it's just been struggling to stay asleep at night, and then just being so fatigued during the day that I have to take naps to be able to, like, my lunch hour is my nap hour on the days I take a lunch, just so I can recover enough to finish my day out. That's such a cute picture. A lot of images in here too. I feel like I've been flipping through this for a few minutes, so. Oh, that's so cute. Tammy and I were talking about we need to start a new project book. And we have so many possibilities. Because we're both so similar in our taste in books. I don't know, maybe it would be this one. Maybe it's another one. I don't know, it's hard to say. Sometimes I also think we'd be better off just going around. I love this picture. That's the one from the front cover. Just going from picture to picture. So it says a small team of designers, so I guess Pepper Lomax is like a publisher. But these do seem to be hand-drawn. Definitely don't have that AI look about them, which is one of the reasons I was drawn to it. So, another cat book. This one, actually, who did I see this on? Just the other day I saw this on somebody's completed pages, I think. And I had not seen this book before. I know, you'd think I'd have the pulse on all the cat books, but I do not. This is the Cute Cats and Kittens coloring book from Emily Chawa. Now, this is the first time I've gotten a book from this publisher, artist. I think it's an artist. When I went to the page, there was a picture. So I don't, hopefully it's somebody and not just a company that made up a name and put a random picture. But you just never know these days, right? Anyway, I believe this might be an artist. But this is the first book from them. They do have some other books that look really cute. But of course the cat one I was drawn to, because we know how I am. So this talks about, she actually has a blurb where she talks about coloring helped with her stress and anxiety and like doing her art and stuff. So, That's why I think this might be an actual artist. I hope so. If so, hi, and you happen to come by, hi, Emily. It's tough in the coloring book world to know for sure. So anyway, so these are adorable. Where they're fishing in the cup. Stacks of cats. Love that one. I have so many cat books, y'all. So many. This reminds me a little bit of Cat Doodles, Cuteness Overload, which is another book I love a lot that I'm going to have to buy a second copy because of that good old yellowing that we talked about on Monday with markers. But isn't quite the same because there aren't like multiple cats on every page, but it's a similar feel. And I love the facial expressions on these cats. They're all so different. I love how that one's dreaming of fish. I love how some of these are cuddling, some of these are on their own. They're doing their own thing. Like this is how cats are. I don't have any cuddlers really. It's funny I love this portrait. Through all the years, I've had cats that will sort of hang out together, but I've never had ones that are just like really bonded. Cat bus. Love that. So cute. But which makes me sad. Like they don't cuddle, they don't groom each other. Occasionally, like Reepa Cheep and Kal-El, one of the cats I had that looked like a really fluffy version of Reepa Cheep. He's, oh, poor little guy. He's got to cut back on his fishies. Fish is supposed to be good for you, though. Chonky cat. Like they would groom on each other, and they get to the point they start fighting. They do the groom, then bite. Tiger and Betsy used to do that years and years ago. I have some that would do that a little bit. And like Reef Cheap and Quixote would play together some. Oh, now Bagheera and Maggie, when they were kittens, I called them the Smash Brothers. Because they were just two solid black cats that would just roll around and play fight and knock over everything. They love to fight and play when, not fight, they loved to play when they were kittens. These are the cutest pictures. But when they got older, they just could care less about each other. Like, it was kind of sad. They grew out of it and they were just like, meh. But in some ways, even though they're not bonded, I do feel like there's a connection with them all, though, because, you know, that's so cute. When, one passes away, like, I can tell it's affecting the others, not only because of, like, hierarchy reasons, but just they all get in a routine with each other, and so they know when that routine's off, and these are so cute. And some of them, like, okay, I say that. But, you know, Bagheera has, in the last few years, really, he has a type, which is the black and white cats. So it started with Felix. He became kind of obsessed with him, would follow him around, jump up in the chairs with him. So Bagheera is a cuddler, wanting to be a cuddler, but the other one's not wanting to be. Felix was the one that put up with it the most. I saw this picture. This might have been the picture in the completed pages I saw, and it was beautiful. Oh gosh, I wish I could remember who that was. I'm so glad I saw this book. That is the truth. Lost my train of thought. When Felix passed away, I could tell Bagheera was down. But then he started going for Oreo, who was one of our other black and white cats. He started wanting to cuddle with him all the time. And again, Oreo put up with it, pretty much like Felix did. Got a little more swatty, but not too bad. I love how they're working together here. Mine are a little more selfish than this. I don't think they'd work together. And then Oreo passed away. And poor Bagheera, he's had such a time. And then the last black and white cat I have is Leroy. And Bagheera loves to follow Leroy around. He wants to cuddle with him so badly. So badly, y'all. And Leroy is just, I guess he didn't grow up with a lot of, like, kittens. Because he's never really learned how to play like a normal cat. He's always overly aggressive, even though he sort of wants to play. But he just doesn't know what to do with other cats. So when they get too close to him, they just make him uncomfortable. And, well, so in this case, I don't blame this cat because you definitely don't want to put him in there if there's bleach. And Coke. What is happening here? What kind of concoction is that? But, party mouse. Oh, it's a party mouse box. My mother would hate that. She'd be like, no, thank you. So he follows him around. I call it the kitty train because here comes Leroy and then here comes Bagheera behind being the caboose. That is me. Well, he's got cat food and beer and noodles and chicken. This cat has had, and it looks like a bunch of crackers behind him. This cat has had a meal. I'm with him. I'm not a big fan of beer, and I definitely don't want the cat food, but I could eat the other stuff. What was I gonna say? Anyway, he keeps trying to cuddle with him, and then Leroy squalls, and he gets all like he's gonna swat at Bagheera, and then Bagheera acts like he's gonna swat at Leroy, and it always escalates. And it's sad. Don't worry, Bagheera gets plenty of attention, plenty of pets. So I think, like I said, Emily's an actual artist, so I love that. An actual artist. I don't mean it like that. I mean it like some of these have names on them, and they're publishers instead of names. It's like a brand, like Jade Summer, right? But here it looks like Emily's actually the artist's name, which is really cool. So it's just hard to discern that sometimes. And this is a good point that I'm going to raise at the end, like I always do with my reviews about the my books, is the importance of leaving reviews. So let's finish up with the last book. This will surprise some of y'all because this is an older book. I had the digital copy of this book, and I just wanted the paper. For some reason, this was the only one I had a digital copy of Joshua Dunbar's book. So this is Joshua Dunbar's work while he was printing under Jade Summer. And this was the only one I had. Maybe I don't have Country Autumn either. I bought this one in Country Autumn in digital. Don't ask me why. And I just wanted the paper version of them. So I picked up Country Summer. I'd like to do a page in this. I'm desperately trying to hold on to summer and actually color summer pages. And I am going to try to continue to color summer pages next month while also getting into Halloween, because from September to November it's Halloween time, even after October 31st. I think the reason I did that is because some of this line art's a little thinner, and I thought, you know, in a printed page I'm probably more likely to, on a digital page, I get less marker bleed, and that's probably why. I do believe this was Joshua's work. I hope I didn't get that confused, but I don't think I did. I love this picture though. Yeah, this is his. I've seen a lot of his pictures like this, so. So I do need to get the paper copy probably of Country Autumn too. I know you're like, why do that? It's so much easier. And I'm so lazy. This is very cute. Anyway, so yeah, Bagheera in his later years has been a little more of trying to cuddle, but he just can't find anybody who wants to cuddle because they all have become very independent. Well, like I think Reepicheep might cuddle, or at some point would have, but he's not having it now. They've all kind of gotten independent. But don't worry about Bagheera. He is the ability to cuddle with other cats would be an added bonus to his life, but he lives his best life. He gets food whenever he wants, even though he is overweight because he was dropping weight so much so quickly due to the Cushing's, we believe. Um, the goal was to get his weight stabilized. So basically, he gets food whenever he wants still, and his weight has stabilized. He is doing a lot better. He does have some arthritis issues because he is a little overweight. He's about 17 pounds, but y'all, for a number of years, he was at like 23, and so he has lost weight, and I do want him to drop a little more weight. However, we want to make sure it's managed in that he's supposed to be losing the weight. At his age, he's like 15. He's supposed to be losing a weight, and he's not losing the weight because he's sick. So right now is just making sure he gets plenty of food. Plus, he does get a tiny bit of insulin for diabetes. Like his blood sugar is just a touch over, better than it used to be. Um, and we want to make sure all that stays stable as well. Plus, I think there's like 50 images in here because I'm not seeing duplicates. Are y'all? That's cool. So yeah, a little bit older work from Joshua Dunbar. I always find that interesting. I love this owl. Plus, another thing here is I've really fallen in love with using watercolor pencils in the Amazon books. I feel like they work really well as a base to then go over with pencil. And for some of these lot thinner line spaces, these smaller spaces, the watercolor pencils will work a lot better than markers for me. So that's another reason I wanted to pick this up. But no, barring Leroy's not so silent protest about not being able to go outside, the cats are doing really well, to be honest. It's my turn to be sick, apparently. And of course, my body still wants to be sick when I'm trying to do things. Ooh, love that one. I mean, it's not so good for the person that owns the garden, I guess. They probably don't like it. I really like the ones in here, I think, with the animals. I always like all of Joshua Dunbar's work, but I feel like I love his interpretation of animals and stuff a lot. They're my favorites, I guess. Sorry, this book, at least all the landscapes are together. Alright, so bonus page from Country Autumn. It is cool too, like the Country Autumn and Country Summer main covers look sort of the same, but they have different like fruits and veggies, different things in the window to denote the season, which I think is really cool. I like that. That's from his Easy Coloring series. Some of that's also under Jade Summer, Easy Halloween. So some of you that maybe recently got into Joshua Dunbar's work that may not be so familiar with the books he published under Jade Summer, there's a couple of them that have his name, and there's some that don't. But like Country Summer, Country Autumn, the Easy Coloring book, the Easy Halloween book, which I should be into next month, are his books. So keep that in mind. You know, he has some earlier work that was printed under Jade Summer. So, all right. I think that's going to be it for tonight. I know I did a lot of babbling while I was flipping through. Hopefully it wasn't too distracting. I will go ahead and put I should have said this at the beginning, I got to get better at that with these flip throughs. Just a reminder, highly encourage, if you have a book you love, particularly with the influx of AI artists and books in the market, now that we come to find out that, at least right now, the courts have ruled that AI cannot be copyrighted. AI, like, works. They are trying to appeal that and stuff, but that seems to be the case right now. I don't know what that means for the future of, like, AI coloring books, but it'll be interesting to see how that continues to develop. But for now, there are influx of AI books in the Amazon, like Amazon published books in on Amazon site, which is causing, and in Etsy too, which is causing a lot of issues with creators that we know and love for a long time. Their stuff's just not getting recommended as much. Some people's work looks very close to theirs because of how AI works. And so, support the artists that you love whenever you can, because it's just not, the market's hard anyway, like, to, be a successful coloring book artist, but like, this is making it even more difficult for them. I'm not saying if you like AI art, that's fine. Again, judgment-free zone, always here. I have a couple AI books myself, not many, but just keep in mind that, it is affecting hand-drawn artists and their work as well. And so what I would encourage is, if you have a particular artist that you love, if you have a particular book that you love, go and review it, whether it's on Amazon site or maybe Dover Publishing or Etsy. Go and review, like, if you buy a set of images on there from an artist, be sure to leave reviews for them, because reviews, I know, definitely on Amazon help with the algorithm. They help with the ranking of the book, and they help get the books more recommended, and maybe help them stand out a little bit more from the other books that are out there. So I just highly encourage you to do it. I don't do as well as I should, but I try, if I complete a page in a book within a month or two, to try to leave a review. I'm getting better at it, but I try to leave a review and, like, show an example of the page I colored. And it doesn't have to be long. You could just say, you like the line art in it. It's nice bold line art. It's nice thin line art. You think it works really well for pencils or marker. You like if there's shading in it. Just say the things you like about the book, or that you don't like about the book. One way or the other. And it's helpful to the artist, and it's helpful to get reviews on their books as well. So I just encourage everybody to try to do that. Like I said, even if you only did like one a month for an artist, I mean, just do what you can to try to help them out. All right, so I'm going to try to be back tomorrow night with some more flip throughs, and probably Friday night with some more flip throughs. Some point this weekend, I do want to do, Tammy and I have a watercolor picture to do out of Woodland Watercolor. She's done hers. It looks amazing. I would like to do it just to have a watercolor demo video for August. Next Monday will be the next video in the Coloring Tips alcohol marker series, which I am actively working on. Middle next week, I have no idea, but towards the end of next weekend will be like completed pages and stuff. So yeah, it's good. There's a lot of videos out right now. I'm really enjoying the channel. I'm enjoying working on this stuff. It's just it's really busy. Like, I want to spend time on my hobby, and And when I take the time to do this, then I don't have the time to color. So it's kind of a catch-22, right? Like, um, anyway. So hope you guys enjoy. I hope you're having a good week. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.